Hi, everybody!
Hey!
Princess Alethea here with Dad and Mom. Today I'm going to talk about one of the Tailor stories. Almost as popular as the Jack stories, there were many stories told about clever tailors. This one is called The Cunning Little Tailor. This is not the one you've heard about 7 in 1 Blow. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. This one is about a princess. We always like to start with a princess. I know I do. Oh, missing tiara. Hold on one second. As many tiaras as I have, you'd think I wouldn't forget them all the time, but there it is! The Cunning Little Tailor. This story starts with a princess, and the princess will marry whoever answers her riddle. So 3 tailors set out, 2 of them actually quite good at their craft, and one who was a bit of a lazy jerk. So sorry guys, the lazy jerk is gonna win this one. Again, bear with me. The 3 tailors go to the princess, and she greets them and says, "I'm so glad you have arrived. Now you must answer my riddle." And the riddle is, I have 2 colors of hair on my head. I'm guessing she was wearing some kind of hat or something. I don't know. Maybe she was behind a green curtain. Pay no attention to the princess behind the green curtain. Cool. I have 2 colors of hair on my head, she says. What are they? The first tailor says, well, it must be black and white. Idiot, right? Obviously that wasn't the answer. The second one says, well, it must be brown and red. Again, wrong answer. So the lazy jerk tailor says, why, it must be silver and gold. Really? We all could have guessed that. Silver and gold. You would have guessed that, right? See, we'd all be married to the princess at this point. Luckily, the princess isn't completely won over by this answer, so she says, you must now pass the second test. I guess no one had ever passed the first test, so they didn't know there was a second test. The second test is that you pretty much have to spend the night with a bear. Well, this makes sense if the princess is a bit of a haughty so-and-so, because you're gonna have to spend the night with her for the rest of her life, so you may as well start with a bear. So the lazy jerk tailor goes to spend the night with the bear. And he greets the bear, and the bear is very growly, and the tailor takes some nuts out of his pocket and begins to eat them. The bear decides he wants some nuts. So the tailor reaches into his pocket and produces some stones. Well, the bear says, I can't break these open. I guess he thinks that they're nuts. And he hands them back to the tailor, and the tailor breaks open one of his nuts, pretending it's a stone, and eats the meat. He gives the stones back to the bear, and the bear's like, you are so strong, I just don't understand this. This is amazing. Then the tailor takes out a fiddle. Where he's been hiding this fiddle all this time? I don't know, you got me. Magic fiddle. So he takes out this fiddle and starts to play. The bear begins to dance. The bear says to the tailor, I love your music and I enjoy dancing so much. Won't you teach me how to play the fiddle? The tailor says to the bear, well, of course I will, but first we have to cut your claws. So here, put your hands in this vise, and we'll cut your claws off, and then I'll teach you how to play the fiddle. So the bear dutifully puts his hands in the vise, and the tailor says, ha ha ha. Sorry, that's the fairy goddaughter. We'll get back to her in 1 second. The tailor says, ha ha ha, and proceeds to go to sleep, while the bear growls mightily because the tailor is a jerk. The next morning, the princess comes down, and lo and behold, the tailor is fine, and the bear's all tied up. So the princess is forced to marry the jerk. You know, I kind of think they deserve each other. The 2 other tailors, unworthy tailors, you know, they probably weren't that bad. Well, number 1, they're not bad because they let the bear loose. And the bear goes chasing after the carriage where the princess and, well, I guess now he's a prince, jerk, tailor, have been married. And he's chasing after the carriage, and the tailor looks at the bear and says, if you keep chasing after this carriage, I will put you back in this vise. And the bear runs away. The end. They live happily ever after. The part that I really love about this story is at the end, one of those classic last lines that they enjoy putting in, is if you don't believe this story, hold on. I love the app that tells you all the fairy tales because it's really great when you're away from home and you need to remember something. Okay, whosoever does not believe this must pay a thaler. So I looked up thaler in Wikipedia, which is an amazing thing. A thaler is not a person, as you might suspect, but a coin, a silver coin that was used for about 200 years. In Czech, it was pronounced thaler, and eventually became the dollar that we use today. So if you don't believe my story, you must pay me a thaler. I should put a donate button so we can make this happen. I wonder if bards actually made money at this sort of thing. They had to, right? Kind of like medieval Kickstarter. It's all coming back. Thank you all for watching. I will be so excited to go home tomorrow. Have a great week, and I'll see you at MarsCon this weekend.